What's up guys, Chasing Lamely here for episode number 2 of our F1 Manager 23 American Dream with the MoneyGram Haas F1 team. There you go, I did the sponsor drop, someone pay me. We're going to be going into Saudi Arabia today, but we've got a little bit of admin to do first, including a brand new chassis coming in. We'll do a little bit of design as well, because we do need to get that ATR period going and used. So we've got new ATR today, we've got some more hours, we've got some more stuff, we're all looking beautiful. Everything's going to be fine. Car inspection wise, we have destroyed a side pods and a suspension, we'll have to fix that. That's going to be important. We're in debt as of the last race. Obviously that has changed now because we got our bonuses, so we're not going to stress on that one too much, but as I said, we have got some parts we need to get built here, and we need to get some new side pods on the go, because if we don't, we're going to be in trouble. So let's do a couple of those just to get them in the bag. What are we doing cash-wise? I want to spend all of our cash on side pods, so we'll just build the 2 of those for now. And it was also a chassis, it said. My brain, I've just finished work, it's been a long day, and my brain is forgetting what we're doing. We need to do side pods and suspension. And that's okay, because we've got suspension 3, maybe? I don't know. I've probably just spent money on a thing I didn't need to, and you've probably all spotted it. Let me know in the comments if you spotted that, because that would be embarrassing. Right, we are 1 day away from getting new chassis, so we'll focus on that. If we need new parts, we'll get new parts. Right, design complete on the chassis. Can we afford to actually build the chassis? That's the real question. I don't know the answer to it. And we need to get that ATR being used as well. We are going to have to wait until that suspension comes in regardless. Okay, we are building more suspensions, that's fine. We will hopefully get some more income before that happens, but it's good. It's nice to know that's there ready in the warehouse. Obviously, once we have more cash, we've got this ATR period for a while. We can take advantage of it, and our hospitality area is built too to bring in a little bit more cash for the team down the line, which is going to be the important part. There you go. Our suspension is built. We are happy. We do need to get some money in, but that's fine. Have I got that suspension on the car? Was that suspension replacing the one I already had? I don't remember what we were doing there. That's good. That's gone well. Right, we've got that installed on both cars. We have enough spares, which is nice. So let's build the new chassis, because that's going to be really important for us. And I want to design a new chassis. We've got the chassis. We're fine with the chassis. Come on, boys. Let's focus. Let's focus on what we're doing. It will all be very fine. Right, chassis. New chassis in the bag. And we are going to try and build at least 1. But we're going to build exactly 1, because it probably won't let us build 2. And that is going to come in time for it's going to come in just after the race, just to make life difficult. That's okay, that's fine. We'll build that one anyway, and when we can catch up with it with the other driver soon, or before the next race, I should say, because we've got 6 days to go until we go to Jeddah. So that should come in, you would think, in time for the 3rd race, which of course is Australia. We're having an upgraded chassis. Could be very important for us, and we're also going to have a new rear wing design coming in. I don't think we're going to get any more cash in before then. I'm not quite sure when the cash distribution happens. There we go. A new rear wing has been built. We have had some cash come in, but it wasn't going to be enough to build a rear wing. I would bet on that for sure. Let's have a little look, though, just to be on the safe side, because obviously if we can, we will, but we probably don't have the space to do it. That's fine, that's fine. I knew what was going on. I was just testing you. Tour Centre's been upgraded. That means even more money will come in this week, which we're going to desperately need. We're going to bring in $17,000 this week, which is ungodly riches. And we've got our new weather centre, which obviously we need for Saudi Arabia, where it's always sunny, and the race simulator is actually going to be really important for us, because that's going to make our drivers better, faster, increase construction speed. We can pay to deliver materials, bring forward the completion date on the car park. Actually, that's probably worth going into a touch of debt for. So we're going to do it, because that's going to make that much, much quicker, bring it forward to a week's time, which means by the time we have the money to build those new parts, we are going to have the new parts. We are in debt. Go to board. Can I ask the board to give me money? Will they say, yes, have some money? I don't think they will. I've never had to ask for money, but I've also never had a budget quite as small as the Haas one. It's fine. There'll be money coming in soon enough. We won't worry about it. Right, we need to set our targets. So to set our targets, we need to know where our car is at, and knowing where our car is at versus everyone else on the grid for Jeddah is going to be important. So let's go by rank on grid for the cars. Top speed, DRS. I don't think I'm going to predict a top 10 for us in qualifying. I think that's safe to say. So, performance targets. Let's see what we can do. Qualifying position, I think, is locked and loaded at 12th. I think we can still reach Q2 with both drivers. So we're going to say that. I'm not going to promise a car in Q1. That feels like a huge risk. It would have to be an extraordinary lap to reach Q3, so we're not going to risk the money for that one. I'm not going to offer a fastest lap. We're just going to leave it like that and hope we can take some money home from Jeddah, which, shouldn't be impossible. But we'll find out, I guess. There is a 100% chance of a safety car, maybe a big chance for a red flag. Let's see how that goes, shall we? That's going to be the key thing. I will see you after qualifying. So, qualifying is the thing that happened then, and Max Verstappen on pole, not a huge shock for us. What is interesting about the top 10, though, is that there are only two drivers who have their teammates in front of them. Charles Leclerc has Carlos Sainz directly behind him in 4th, and Lance Stroll takes 3rd. Sergio Perez in 5th, Lewis Hamilton in 6th, Fernando Alonso in 7th, Ocon in 8th, has Gasly behind him in 10th, and Russell takes 9th. In 11th place, Alex Albon, fantastic performance in qualifying. We're in 12th and 13th with Hülkenberg and Magnussen respectively, the first cars on the grid from the same team next to each other. We have Logan Sargent behind us, so some development has happened at Williams for sure. Lando Norris starts alongside Zhou Guanyu, Nick De Vries starts alongside Oscar Piastri, and Yuki Tsunoda starts alongside Valtteri Bottas. So in fact we are the only teammates who are next to each other on the grid, albeit officially on different rows. So, let's have ourselves a little look at what we're doing strategy-wise here. It's a 50-lap race. Set of hards, we can see, will go the distance. That's good knowledge for us because there is apparently a 100% chance of a safety car in today's race. So that could be very interesting. We'll have a little look at the preset setups, see if any of them suit us. I want to think there's probably a way to do a softs to mediums here. I'd have to feel very confident to do it, but let's give it a go. Let's see if we can make that work mathematically. It looks like it is possible. It would be a risky one, but we do also have that chance of a safety car to be able to stretch things out. So it's going to be a case of where is the best gap or the best timing for this to make it work. I guess that's going to be the ideal. Somewhere around half-ish distance would do us. I want to try and use as much of the softs as I can and then keep a bit of mediums to be able to push on if we need to. I think that's a pretty good strategy. I don't know how keeping the softs in the window is going to work. But, we can always switch on to that softs to hard strategy if we need to. So we'll put that first stint back to softs there. I think we've got fresh softs. I'll make sure we put fresh softs on. I didn't mean to do that. That worked out brilliantly for me. Right, let's put that back to mediums now so we know what we're doing. And I really hate the fiddliness of the controls on the console, but unfortunately my PC is not the one to run it, so we'll try that again. We'll do the 24th lap for both drivers. I'm hoping they won't be next to each other by the time we get there, but if they are, so be it. We'll make it work. Somehow someone's going to have to either come in early or extend. We'll play that by ear. Right, car setup wise, that's going to be the interesting one. I don't want to take extra fuel on because I don't want to have excess fuel for a safety car. We are going to push from the start. I'm not going to burn through the tyres. I'm going to keep things fairly conservative for this race. I know the fact that we are in 12th and 13th speaks to we should be pushing a bit harder, or should be trying something dramatic. We're actually not going to. We're going to start on high fuel because we know we'll get it back fairly soon, but that's the only concession we're going to make. We're going to try and be light after about 2 laps, and then we will see what we can do. But I think that's going to be the strategy for today. I think that's going to be the game. So, without any further ado, I guess we should go and see Crofty and Karoon and see what they've got to say for themselves.
The drivers are lined up on the grid here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, preparing for 50 flat-out laps under the lights. This could be a big race for that man, right there, Lewis Hamilton.
They got everything right to earn that P6 position. Now they've just got to show they can do it again in the race.
And the time has come. Let's go racing. We're now moments away from this, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So I think I've managed to just about kill the car noise enough. I'm going to have a go though, just because I know we don't want to have that in our ears all race. It can get a little bit irritating. So nice start for us. Magnussen and Hulkenberg staying alongside each other. Hopefully they won't get into each other before I actually do any of that. Let's get them set on a high aggression overtaking. I might tell them to not fight each other after the first couple of laps. We'll see where they shake out. I don't want them to run into each other, of course, but I think it would be helpful if we just try and push through while we can. We've got the soft tyres on. I don't know if anyone else is going to go softs to mediums. I think actually a few of the teams who finished outside the top 10, being outside the top 10 could be a blessing here, because anyone with fresh softs, well, it looks like Stroll and Leclerc and Albon also had fresh softs to put on, can run the softs to mediums that we're running. But I do actually think we might be able to fight our way up the field here. I don't think it's impossible. I think a safety car timed at the right moment would do wonders for us. I think a red flag would actually cause us more harm than good, but the free pit stop could be useful. We'll see how it goes. If we get a red flag after the pit stop phase for some of the cars ahead of us, we can get some freebies, and then that'll be nice. Gasly ahead of us, his tyres are going to drop off very fast because he has the most warm tyres on the grid. You've got to think he's going on a one stop to hards, so he should have the pace over him for a lot of the race, which again is a freebie. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it plays out as we come to the end of lap 1. Things are looking quite tidy. Let's get ourselves onto the intervals. Albon's been dropped by Ocon. That's not going to be a good start for us for the race. But Hulkenberg also being dropped by his teammates, not helping a lot either. So this is going to be very interesting, I think, for race day for us. So we're going to go for a look here. We did have a little look at Magnussen then. We didn't take the pass, but we had a little look at him. And I think Gasly might actually be slower than Magnussen. I think we might be holding us up a little bit. Albon certainly could be holding us up. Qualifying was interesting in that Q1 we were in the top 10 with both cars, and then by Q2 we'd lost the pace a little bit, and I'm not quite sure how that happened. I don't know if it was a temperature change, if we just got unlucky with traffic. I'm not quite sure how that worked. We had traffic on all of our laps in qualifying it through both sessions. I didn't think we were any unluckier on what we hit than we were on any of the fast laps in Q1. So it's a bit of a mystery to us, but we are definitely being held up by Gasly at this point. I think that's safe to say. Let us go to battle assist for both drivers, because I think they're going to need it. That's going to be quite useful. As I said, we'll get to the end of lap 2. We will drop that fuel back down to a medium, so we're running lighter for the rest of the race. We've dropped Lando Norris. That's actually quite beneficial if we can make it work. We do need to stay in touch with Gasly though. That's going to be key to our race as we come around to complete lap 2, which is beautiful. That's a good time for us to drop down because DRS is now enabled, and we can start saving that fuel up a little bit. and keep ourselves in a good position. In fact, I'm going to go to a neutral on the ERS as well. I think we're just going to hold station for a while. I am expecting there to be a safety car, as I've said before, so let's not count ourselves out just yet. We'll see if we've got the natural pace over Gasly, or if it was just ERS assisted. It could well have been ERS assisted. It could be the 12th and 13th are as fast as we go. But I do think we've got the ability to kind of hold our own here a little bit. I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility that we can do something really spectacular today. We just need to hold on for something to happen. So we're probably going to zoom through a little bit, and we'll keep an eye on the gaps just in case something happens. But I think it's going to be a largely uneventful race on track for us until we get ourselves either a safety car. I say that Magnussen's going for a pass now on Gasly, commentator's curse, and his tyres are heating up something chronic, so we do need to get ourselves past Gasly now. We did have the overall pace over Gasly. It wasn't an illusion. I knew we were probably faster than him. We just need to find that extra little bit of something to get ourselves past. I'm going to get ready to trigger the ERS deploy, so we can use that down the back straight with the DRS to get ourselves through, hopefully, and past Pierre Gasly. That's the dream for us. Whether or not the dream will come true, of course, always a mystery on this game, but we'll try and hold station. DRS again comes open. See it. I think Gasly is actually being held up by Ocon. It might be by Albon, sorry. It might be Albon who is the cork in the bottle. We won't know that until we find a way to get past him. And until we find a way to get past him, we are sort of stuck holding station. Hulkenberg is definitely not as fast as his teammate, that's for sure. We're out on the back of Gasly now. We're coming around that last corner. Let's go full deploy. Let's see what we can get out of this. See if we can get a pass on the go. Give it full beans and see what we've got to get past someone. In fact, it could be Ocon holding. It could be the Alpines actually holding us all up. It might not be Albon. I may have unfairly blamed Albon for that one. All very close. That I wish we had a replay button for, because I think we probably made some contact there. Looks like the car is fine. No reports from the engineer saying otherwise, so we're going to have to assume that things are fine. We're going to keep up on the high deploy though, because it's going to be valuable for us to do that for now whilst we're in these early phases. I mean, I am thinking that because Ocon is corking the bottle a little bit, we could do some saving, some topping up here, and really make ourselves a nuisance later on. Let's do a top up with Magnussen. Hold station. Hopefully that'll bring Hulkenberg back into the game a little bit, because he'll be on neutral, of course. We are going to go for a look up the inside of Ocon again, though. Sorry, of Gasly again. We're looking at him. We've got a mind to try and take him here. You can see we've thought about it, as Ocon has found a second gear, or I suppose a seventh gear, an eighth gear, to get himself away from Albon, who looks like he's just defending for dear life, trying to hold on to that point, which could really play into our favour. That would really bring us up into contention here, because if Gasly doesn't get past Albon soon, then Ocon's going to disappear and create a gap. And I've said that Gasly's going for a look now up the inside. Can he get this move made? It looks like he might be able to. Are we going to try and follow through? He might well do. Albon's lost the position. He is defending for his life, as I said. ERS has run out, but that's not a big problem. We will get it back as DRS opens now. Can we pull ourselves up? Can Hulkenberg use his magic power to get himself on the back of a car as well? Looks like the warm air is playing havoc with our tyres as well. That's not going to help us out getting overtakes done, or indeed holding on to our tyre life. But we should be okay. I think Magnussen will get through, and then we should have a touch of clean air as we try and chase down Gasly and Ocon. But we do need to get ourselves up into 11th first. That's going to be our key thing for this. So we're going to try and hold station for a little bit behind Albon. Just recharge that battery a little bit. As I said, I think we're faster, significantly faster. We're going to drop down actually to a full harvest, because I think we're going to have to go into full battle mode, and that's going to be a real problem once we've run out of our ERS. So we're going to have to try and build up, get Hulkenberg back on the back of us, build ourselves a little train. We'll start working our way on getting past Albon. It looks like he's going to do it whilst harvesting. If we do it whilst harvesting, that is a disgusting piece of Formula 1 driving if Magnussen pulls this off. I don't think he will. I don't think he's got I think the extra oomph with Albon presumably in neutral on the ERS is going to not help us. but this is helping us as a race long term. The tyres are hot because we're trying to get a pass done. Come on, Kev, get it done. Round the outside, maybe up the inside, have a little look. We're going to go for the look. We are going to go for the look. Once we get DRS open, though, Albon is going to be absolutely dead in the water. I'm not going to bother pushing the tyres because the DRS should do that job for us, and it looks like it's going to. Let's get that DRS open. Rear wing open, gone. Hulkenberg, is he following us through? No, he's following Albon through. He's tried to make a pass on us rather than playing it sensible and following his teammate through. So we're going to, again, hold station at the inside. We have got this overtake on. It is going to be done. We're going to keep an eye from the off-board camera. What can we see from trackside here? Anything good coming through this section? We are wheel to wheel with Alex Albon. This could end in tragedy. It could be disaster. It could be a nightmare. Let's go up into neutral. See if the extra DRS will help us pass. We're going to get DRS again at the next detection point if things stay as are. We've dropped back out of that move, but I'm not against that as a decision because I do think ensuring we get DRS here is the right solution. We'll go back on board with Magnussen, who's having yet another look. He's hit the DRS detection point, and we should be going through the line any second now. Can we move and get that pass done and get ourselves right up past Albon and onto the back of the two Alpines? That will be nice. We're going to go for a look at the inside here. Can we get it done? Magnussen going through on Albon. Albon into the wall, and he's taken out K-Mag. And that is a safety car. And I don't know if Kev is terminal, but it certainly wasn't pleasant. It's a front wing. It's terminal. It's a terminal one. Kevin Magnussen has been absolutely taken for a ride there. But that's a good opportunity for us strategy-wise because, in theory, let's keep an eye on that with the strategy. Let's see if people come in because there could be some freebies to be had here. They are all coming in. Are they all coming on Haas? Let's see what happened with the crash. It's going to be Albon's fault. I'm almost certain of it because we were passed and through, and Albon's just locked up, and he's absolutely wiped out Magnussen. Are we going to get more than a safety car? Is it just going to be a safety car? It was tough to watch, but frankly, there should have been a penalty there for Alex Albon. DRS disabled. Everyone's coming in. I don't think I want to. I think I want to use this opportunity to cool those tyres off, extend ourselves a little bit, because we don't really have a gap to not lose to Lando. And I think we can come out in a good position. We should be able to hold on with these softs for a little bit longer. I know it means we have faster cars behind us, probably coming out on hards, I suspect. But yeah, it's looking like Hulkenberg has come out behind Carlos Sainz. Penalty for Alex Albon. I'm not sure how that's going to help. He's got a 5-second penalty and somehow still is behind Magnussen, or ahead of Magnussen, despite the fact that Magnussen was ahead when the crash happened. Good stuff. Okay, we're going to hold on tight for what should be the rest of the race here. It looks like Verstappen and Stroll have decided to go for hard. Sainz has taken a gamble on a fresh set of softs. Leclerc has stayed out, or has he gone? I thought Leclerc came in. I could have sworn Leclerc came in. If he's not, well, he could be in trouble. He could be in real trouble of getting swallowed up by the cars behind him. I realise we are also in that danger, but overall I think it's going to be quicker for us to not pit under this safety car. I feel like there's going to be another one, possibly even a red flag, and I feel like holding position in 7th is going to pay off here. It's just a hunch. Hulkenberg is going to have to have a particularly special restart, but once all the cars are gathered up and we're ready to bring the safety car in, we'll see how we look. We should have recharged. We have. And we're going to be okay. I'm feeling this as a strategy now. I think we've got the ability to pull off something special here. Logan Sargent is where I'm looking on the left-hand side tyre-wise. He's in 10th. Tsunoda in 12th has a 66% soft tyre, so he will have to pit before us. But this, I think, plays really nicely into our hands on the restart, because we should be faster than Stroll and Verstappen off the restart, you would like to think. So I guess we just play it safe, see how it looks. There's no point pitting now anyway, it's too late. We've taken the gamble and stayed out. And we've got to hope that track position is a better decision than fresh tyres. I'd like to think it is, because I think most of those drivers who have pitted, bar Verstappen and Stroll and Ocon, and De Vries, have probably consigned themselves to having to stop again. But we haven't, and that's going to be vital. The safety car not coming in again this lap, so we're going to keep rushing through until we get the notification that it'll be time to bring the safety car in, which this safety car is staying out for a very long time, but that is actually helping us out a lot. This is going to really help us extend the stint, and we should be good to go any second now, which is great, because I'd like to get this race back underway. I'd like us to have to get a good push going from Hulkenberg on Carlos Sainz, on Lance Stroll, and on Max Verstappen, who you'd like to think Sainz will get past. Sainz, in fact, could be in a good position to take a lead fairly quickly off the restart. So if we can just stay with him past the cars on the slower tyres, you never know. There could be some benefit in this. And if we can stay ahead of Hamilton and Russell, better still. So we've gone green. Let's get ourselves pushing. I say pushing. We're going to go standard on the softs, give us a bit more to play with. We will deploy on the ERS. See how things go off the restart. I'm feeling okay about this. Can we find a cheeky position or two? And most importantly, build a gap to Logan Sargent. We're underway as we go onto the back straight. Looks like Leclerc has put the hammer down, and we will keep on hammering ourselves to get through. We have got those two much quicker Mercedes behind us, so it's going to be a case of trying to stay ahead. That's the clipping there, scares the hell out of me every single time. We're doing okay. Let's go double speed just to get ourselves a little bit further through the race, because we don't want this to be a 4-hour episode. If we can avoid it, we are still not Captain Goodspeed, and I love Captain Goodspeed, but I cannot imagine doing what he does and recording 2-3-hour episodes every time. That would drive me insane. So we are losing time to Carlos Sainz. That was inevitable, but we are staying ahead of Lewis for now, which is good. That's sort of what we were hoping to be achieving. He's got past us now. That was not a big surprise. Honestly, seeing the Mercs disappear doesn't shock me. I'll be completely honest, it doesn't shock me. We just need to keep ourselves honestly ahead of Logan Sargent. That's our target, really, is to just stay in the points, build a gap to Sargent. At this point, a red flag would do wonders for us, because I would strap on the hards, I would go to the end, and I would call it a race, I think, at that point. But for now, we're staying ahead of George Russell, and that's really what we need to be doing. We are battling away quite nicely. We are just within a second ready for when the DRS is reactivated, which is good for us, because we just want to get onto the back of Lewis as best we can. Let's take battle assist off, and let's just go pure push for a little while. Just because going pure push should hopefully get us onto the back of Hamilton a bit faster, if at all possible. 3 cars very close together ahead of us, and that has accident written all over it. We're staying ahead of Gasly. That's sort of what we intended to do. We'll go into neutral here. DRS should open up here on this lap. We're going to try our best to keep George Russell behind us, but I'm not going to tell Hulkenberg to fight him. That would be a mistake. We just have to hope he does it naturally. It was very close onto the inside of turn 1. And Russell is past, but you can see we've built that gap to Logan Sargent already. And that was sort of the aim for this stint. So let's roll on through, try and keep that gap to Sargent built up. I think we can probably hold on to it for a little while. But as I said as well, we've planned to go softs to mediums. So we are going to be faster than all the cars on hards towards the end of the race if we're very, very lucky. Gasly has found a way past Sargent, so has Ocon and Norris. Tyres are overheating. I'm not sure how. We're not in dirty air. I don't know what we're supposed to do. I guess cool the tyres down is the answer, but I don't really want to slow up if we can help it. But we've got the tyres back into a good window now, so we'll let them heat back up a little bit. Hopefully we'll be okay at just kind of pushing our way through. We have got a mechanical warning for something. We're about to head into our pit window. We probably are, we are not far off. We are 4 laps away, but we do have Gasly and Ocon right behind us, and that makes me slightly nervous. We're going to try and keep ahead. I'm not going to try anything clever here because I don't think it's worthwhile. I think we'll get it back in the next phase of the race, if I'm honest. And Gasly was always going to make his way past on slightly better medium tyres. But again, it's about the gaps here. We're just trying to hold on to the tyres long enough for a safety car, for a red flag, for whatever it takes. Because, again, you've just got to feel like it's coming. We've entered our pit window. We're going to keep an eye on our tyres just so we know what's going on. Hulkenberg is going to manage to try and defend from Ocon as long as he can. That's good. Norris is going to start catching us, but Sargent vitally is dropping. And that is going to be key. Logan Sargent is sort of our target in terms of pace here. That's our optimal pit lap. Let's not pay too much heed to that just yet, because the more we have on the mediums, the better it's going to be. Let's go on to our strategy view here and have a look at what we can do in terms of if we were to push the hards, the mediums slightly, would that work? It would work. Okay, great. That's what we're going to do then. We're going to push our mediums and we're going to hope for a safety car to come. I am going to work on keeping our tyre temps in check. Where are we at tyres wise? I didn't look at tyres wise. Let's go full push and let's come into the box this lap and hopefully we can get someone undercut and do well to the end. Right, let's go on to those medium tyres. I think it's going to be a doozy of a finale for us here. I'm initially just going to push the tyres enough to get them into the temp window, drop them down, hold on to them a little bit, because you never know what's going to happen with Jeddah. We just need to get through this lap. We're going to let everything tick on and neutral our DRS. That's magic, and we should be getting ready to come into the box around about soon. So we will drop that down to aggressive, ready for that pit stop. We're going to come in now. Let's do a pit stop on visor cam. Why the devil not? We've taken the tyres to their absolute ragged edge. We were still right behind Ocon. Leclerc is in as well, which is interesting because Ocon and Norris are going to get past him. So maybe is Guan Yu Zhou, which, again, I found a lot of cars might well make it past him. Let's see what our pit stop looks like. Are we going to get any problems? It looks like we've got out 2.8 dead. Excellent. Okay, Nick De Vries is the next man behind us. In fact, he's ahead of us now. That's not ideal at all. We're going to have to go on a tear here. It's going to have to be absolute godlike racing from Nico Hulkenberg from this point on. Let's zoom forward, get our temps back in our tyres, and we should be fairly soon on the back of Nick De Vries. We'll drop ourselves down to a standard now. Hold on to that for a little while, because we have got what it takes to keep the temperature in these tyres as best we can. We're going to hold it firm and hope we can do something here. We're on the back of Nick De Vries. It really annoys me how I like the Alpha Tauri and the Haas. Look, let's go on board with the T-Cam. We can see the other cars ahead of us. Alonso and Perez have both come in. I could have sworn Alonso was on a set of hards. I could have sworn he was on a set of hards. Stroll was definitely on a set of hards, and he's coming for mediums, which is a bold gamble. Very curious. I'm very curious what some of the decisions pit stop wise up top. And Russell and Hamilton now riding in the top 4 might be in a good position to pull something off here as we go for DRS and try and get past Nick De Vries. You've got to hope we can pull something off here. I do need to work on our DRS speed. I want to get the DRS speed up, because I feel like a lot of the times we don't get passes done, it's because our DRS is just utter trash, and that's going to be a key area to develop for us for the rest of the season, really. That top speed are really what we're looking to do, and we're on the back now of Nick De Vries, really having a sniff around his gearbox. He in turn behind Bottas and behind Sargent, Piastri not far up the road, and Guan Yu Zhou not far ahead of Piastri. Big gap to Norris though, so it's going to take some more stopping from cars ahead to keep us in the race. We may have made a mistake not going onto the hards and under the safety car, but again, I don't feel like it was an error. I feel like there's potential here, as long as we can keep ourselves pushing. So we're going to keep an eye out now for the DRS zone to open up, which should be just around this corner. And then once it does, can we try and get hold of someone? We're in a train, that's the trouble, and we're not the best car under DRS in that train, which is the real issue. But looks like Bottas is making it past Sargent, who is dropping like a stone, as we expect him to do. DRS open again, and we really are just stuck behind Nick De Vries right now, who in turn is stuck behind Logan Sargent. Maybe Sargent's done us a favour in the last corner. Can we go around the outside of Nick De Vries, really push ourselves away? Good traction off the line under the softer tyres. Can we switch ourselves outside and go for something on Logan Sargent and the DRS as well? We might be able to here. It looks like he's defending it very well, but it's not the end of the game yet. Can we do anything? We haven't quite done a double overtake, but we have just seen Ocon come out not far up the road from us on fresh tyres, which could be a real question mark for the rest of the race. That could be something we can aim for if we are lucky. Now we're right on the back of Logan Sargent. He's been dropped by Bottas. I think once we pass him, we'll drop him all over again as well, because Sargent's got to be struggling. Has he come in yet? He still hasn't come in off those medium tyres, so he is just in our way at this point, and he needs to stop doing that, because that is massively unproductive. As we're going to go for a look at the inside, almost had a small coming together, but Hulkenberg has managed to hold it together a little bit, and we're staying up behind him. Let's because we know we can pass a Williams whilst topping up, we're going to try that, because I think we're going to need the battery. If I'm honest, we're going to need the battery through the DRS zone. We've got DRS open now. Can we make this happen? Can we make something stick? That is going to be the real question. We had another look for an overtake there. Didn't quite come off again. But we keep on trying. We keep on looking. We go DRS again, going into the last corner. We don't want to be ahead at the line if we can avoid it. Play it smart, Nico. Be behind at the DRS detection point. Good work. Now let's go for it down the home straight, and hopefully we can make something happen here. We're still on battle assist mode, aren't we? No, we're not. We're just using ERS. As Sargent comes in, having given us DRS and clean air, that is beautiful from Logan Sargent. He has done wonders for us there, and he won't ever appreciate the absolute magic he's done. Let's go neutral. Let's carry on pushing ourselves ahead, and hopefully we can get onto the back of Valtteri Bottas in time to build yet another DRS train. Maybe leapfrog him onto the back of Zhou. Then we can leapfrog Zhou onto the back of Ocon, and Ocon onto the back of Piastri, and we're back up in P11. That's the goal here. P11 would be a really good finish for us. We just have to get there, and we're going to zoom forward again, because we are just trying to close a gap to Bottas. We've closed it up now, and again under DRS, going into the main straight here. What have we got? What have we got to put on Valtteri Bottas? He is on soft tyres, and I don't know how they're doing. They're doing terribly. We should get up the inside of him here quite nicely, and if we get up the inside of him, we will get the traction up the corner and be gone. We've got up the inside of him, but we've had to pull out because there wasn't enough room. Bottas defending very aggressively there, but we'll try again, because Bottas's tyres are officially dead on him, and we should be able to get past. We should have the pace to beat him. We just have to find the right opportunity. I think coming out of the hairpin down the back is going to be the way to do it. We will see what we can do. We're going to have another look here, I imagine. Going into the hairpin. We're going to go for a dive at the inside. We're not. We're going to hang out behind him for reasons I don't fully understand. This is a very passable part of the circuit, and we've got Hulkenberg stuck behind Bottas unnecessarily overheating his tyres, which doesn't make any sense. Come on, let's get the DRS open and let's get this overtake done, because we're just embarrassing ourselves at this point. I mean, not that being behind a defensive Bottas is something to be embarrassed about, but on the tyres he's on, we shouldn't be there, and we've gone for a dive up the inside, made it stick. We should be through and clear. We probably are through and clear. DRS open again. Beautiful stuff. We can take ourselves onto the back of Guan Yu's show now. That is the ambition, and hopefully we can then start having a look at him down the main straight. There are cars in the pits. Gasly and Norris are going to drop back into this contention. There could still be a point on here. This could be where this sticking to our strategy pays off. As Norris drops down, is Gasly getting out ahead of us? He has got out ahead of us back onto the circuit. We've got up the inside of Guan Yu Show, and now we are 12th place and trying to get a sniff at the back of Oscar Piastri, and that might not be as difficult as it sounds. We'll zoom things forward. You can see we've got the pace on him for sure. Tyres are overheating. That's, I think, expected, to be honest, just because Jeddah is hot. I think you put hards on at this stage and still be overheating your tyres on a neutral setting. We've got DRS now and a chance to have a look at Oscar Piastri going down the start-finish straight, which really would be the one for us. You get right up on his gearbox, and if we can get past him and drop him, then you'd like to think Ocon is next. One mistake from any car up front, and we are going to be laughing all the way to the bank as we make the move at the inside of Piastri under DRS. Job done. Into turn one. We're not even side by side. Is he going to come back at us? He might well do. He's not. He's gone. He's done. It's in the books. And we continue forward. Hopefully we'll get on the back of Ocon, or hopefully a Mercedes will drop in front of us. It hasn't happened that way, unfortunately. A Mercedes dropping in front of us would have been really helpful to get DRS. You can see we put 5 seconds on the McLarens already. 15 laps to go. We do need that red flag to occur right now, I'll be honest, because otherwise we are sort of in struggle city, and we just have to try and hold on here, hope for something to happen ahead of us. Any two of the cars in the points colliding gives us points at this stage, but it's not going to happen, I don't think. I think we may have had our one and only safety car. I feel like every YouTuber I've seen has had a red flag on Jeddah the first time they've gone there, and we have somehow gotten away with it, which is not ideal, as Norris now is closing back up to us. I'm not overly worried. We're going to try and keep our tyres in a good window, keep them at a good temperature, not push them too hard. Virtual safety car, multiple cars crashed, and is this time to come in for a pit stop? We're certainly going to cool our tyres down whilst we... Safety car deployed. Okay, are we going to go further than a safety car deployed? Let's see what's going on with this. I did say I needed 2 of the leaders to have a coming together, and that'll do it. That could even be a red flag, because that looks a lot like we have an Aston Martin stranded in the middle of the track. We'll see what happens. We'll skip over that little bit of analysis of people looking sad in the garage. Safety car out, DRS disabled. Having a look behind us, looks like Alonso is out and Leclerc is in the pits, and I need to make a decision. I tend to go, let's strap on our best pair of boots and let's go all out attack, shall we? That feels solid as a plan. We're going to go all out attack on the fresh tyres and see if we can get some places made up, because that would be very, very handy if we can. We have the pace, we have what it takes. We should get out ahead of Tsunoda, which is my primary concern. I want to get out ahead of Tsunoda. Oh, we're getting out ahead of Norris as well. Norris is coming. Ocon, of course, is coming as well. He'll go on to softs, I have no doubt at all. But unless we botch this pit stop, we'll come out ahead of Norris. Beautiful pit stop, 2.712. That's going to help us immensely, and we can carry on doing what we're doing in 10th place on fresh tyres behind Esteban Ocon, who's doing what tyre-wise ahead of us. So a lot of cars could be in trouble off this restart on very worn tyres who are not going to be able to push them to the end. I just realised I should save these tyres while we're under safety car. Smart, well done. Well done, good work. Let's not burn through them under safety car. Verstappen's had a pit stop issue. He's still come out on top, but he has got the fresh boots on. Stroll, I don't think, is coming in. I think Stroll has decided to stay out. Brave move, Lance. I would not have done that, but whatever floats your boat. And we're going to get a couple of laps sprint to the end, I think, here, which is really going to be something for us to contend with. I'm going to put the fuel into push, I think, just because I don't want to be 3 kilos overweight at the restart. I think that will be a mistake. In fact, let's go balanced, because we don't want to overdo it. We're looking okay. Right, let's get ready for the safety car to come in. Should be this lap, you'd hope. Nope, we're going to go round one more time just to keep the fans excited for the restart, build the tension. Safety car is ending. That's what we like to see. Let's get ourselves ready to go. And it's going to be a big boosty, battle assisted everything for us for the last 7 laps or 6 laps of the Grand Prix. We have Lando Norris behind us on tyres that are as new as ours. Ocon in slightly worse tyres. Gasly on decent mediums. Lance Stroll is the sacrificial lamb ahead of us. I think it's safe to say, but we are waiting for this safety car to come in, waiting for that green flag to drop. Should be any second now, and once it does, there we go. We're going to get ourselves up into full attack. We're going to go full pushing on the fuel and full deploy on the ERS, and let's get some overtake done, boys. Giggity, giggity, giggity. Let's go racing. That's what we're looking for. Let's go on board. Let's watch some overtaking from on board. Looks like Lando was trying to have a look up the inside of us before the final corner. That's not going to fly, Lando. We're going to push now. We're going to get ourselves a good turn of pace away ahead of you as best we can. Build that gap back up because we know we're faster than the McLarens. 6 laps to go, and it's a shootout for the points. That's what we're all going for. This could go any which way but loose, and that's what we're trying to do here. Can we get ourselves a good shootout for the points? And I mean, even our point right now would still keep us, I think, in 6th in the championship. I think there's any new point scorers terrifyingly up the field. So it will keep us in 6th in the championship, which is what we're sort of looking to do. But we need to see what else we can do. Let's take this off battle assist because we don't need to use it as overtake. We need to use it as push. Use it as push. Get yourself up past Ocon. We'll worry about using it to battle people once we've pushed past a car or two. Get ourselves on the back of the 2 Alpines. Let's do what we can do. Let's drop Lando before the DRS reopens because he'll be good under DRS. Get ourselves onto the back of the Alpines because that's the thing we need to really focus on. And hope for the absolute best outcome here we can get. I'd love to get 2, maybe 4 points out of this race. That would help us a lot. For now, we're just going to wait for the last corner, get ourselves pushing, use the long straight, use the fact we've got the ERS, use the fact we've got these nice, fresh-ish tyres. They were a scrub set, so not completely fresh, not sticker fresh, but they only had about a lap or 2 done on them in qualifying, so it should have been okay. But for now, Nico Hülkenberg is trying to look racy, and that's what we're really looking for. A Nico Hülkenberg looking racy as we go for a look at Ocon. Let's go back to neutral, but we'll give him the battle assist to let him use it to try and push his way past Ocon. Let's check the tyres, see how we're looking. We're doing better than Ocon on them so far. That will probably soon change, but Hamilton has definitely pushed too hard on his tyres. Russell has pushed too hard on his tyres. Stroll has pushed too hard on his tyres. There could be points here for the taking, but first, let's have a look at Esteban Ocon. Are we going to look at the inside of him? We're not going to have a look just yet, but we've done okay. We've stayed with him, and we're trying to keep that going. As long as no big gaps build anywhere up the field, we should be okay. Russell's getting dropped a little bit, but that was inevitable because his tyres are shot, or will soon be shot. It's going to come down to that tyre battle. Who burns through their tyres fastest, who can defend on them, and how people make overtakes. So I haven't taken us off aggressive overtaking, so we should be okay. We're going to go for a look here. You'd think DRS still not activated, apparently. We were within DRS range, I'm almost certain of it. I'd be shocked if we weren't. So maybe it's activated this lap and we can start to get some moves done. That would be the dream. If we can do it, we are pushing now. DRS enabled. Should come good for us this lap. If we're very lucky, we'll just try and stay on the back of Ocon for now, where we should be looking good for the last few laps of this Grand Prix to stay ahead of Lando. We've dropped him out of our DRS range, or we had done very briefly. Looks like he may have had a small moment behind us, got very close for a second, and then has dropped back. So we're just trying to follow Ocon through here, trying to drop Norris, trying to do our thing, keep pushing as hard as we can. Hopefully there's going to be something special happen here. Let's do double speed, because if we're going to see an overtake, we'd like to see it soon, because I feel like we've not made many today, and it'd be nice if we could. Tyres moderately overheating. You're right, they're probably absolutely screaming out, buddy, because that's just how it goes at this stage in the Grand Prix. We're going to keep pushing. Dangerous, had to avoid overtaking, had to take avoiding action on the overtake. That's not ideal, but we should have DRS now. We do have DRS, and Gasly is way behind Hamilton, getting dropped. So we should again get DRS here. If Gasly gets dropped by Hamilton before the DRS zone, he hasn't quite got dropped yet. He's just about holding on. But I do feel like there's an Alpine for the taking here. I just feel like there's an Alpine for the taking before the end of this race. If not someone else as well in the process. Let's go onto the back straight. Tyres wise, we are still looking at the two Mercs to drop off. We're looking at Gasly to maybe... I mean, Gasly could hold on and take one of the Mercs, to be honest. Lance Stroll could be in trouble. We'll go for a look at the inside there of Ocon. That looked like we made contact. Let's go off board and onto the broadcast camera. Hulkenberg is trying to make that move stick. Let's give him a little bit of ERS to play with. He doesn't even need it. He's just made it happen. And we're going to get onto the back of Gasly now. And hopefully we'll get past him and we'll be in a great position. Let's look at the off-board of that overtake, because we kind of got caught in the moment there a little bit. Great overtake. Just hangs it out around the outside of turn 2. Makes his way into turn 3, and he's done it already. We're good to go. We're up into 9th. 2 points in the books so far, and maybe more to come. We'll see how that goes, because we are sniffing around the back of Pierre Gasly here, something chronic. I do want to get past him. I do feel like deploy will be the answer once we get ourselves onto the main straight to see if we can fully utilise it to push past him. Although, to be fair, we're doing a decent job of having a look right now. We might get it done before we even need to get there through one of the DRS zones that's coming up. I'm going to go for a look now, I think. Probably have a cheeky sniff around the inside of the chicane. Not quite. But again, another DRS zone coming up. We need to stay behind Gasly, but only just long enough to get us over the start-finish line under DRS. We are getting closed down by Gasly. He's doing some hard defending. Now is the time. Now is the time to push that deploy button. See if we can get it done with the better traction off the final corner. Hopefully with that, the DRS, the ERS, the big push, the overtake, we're happy to go. We're looking for out the inside. We are closing, although very, very slowly, but we are closing. We're going to try and do it under braking. We may have done it. Can we hang out here a little bit? Stay on the back. Maybe Hamilton can do us a favour by being a little bit slow. He has done us a favour by being a little bit slow. And now we are very much playing with the big boys. We have the slightly worse tyres of Hamilton and Russell ahead of us. Do we still have a couple of overtakes left in us? This could be the drive of Hulkenberg's career, at least at Haas. Can he get an overtake done? 2 laps to go. We're really, really pushing now. Try and maximise our benefit from today's race. Hamilton, of course, if he wants to defend, will defend all day. That really could cause us a problem. But we are still massively up on fuel, so we can just keep pushing, and hopefully we'll get a nice DRS somewhere. that will really put us into contention with Lewis should be having the rear wing open now, and we can start to push and push and push. And Hamilton's about to get dropped by his teammate. Really dangerous situation actually for Mercedes, because if we get past Hamilton, then Russell will be a sitting duck on that last lap, you would think, because he has no DRS. We are just trying to pull ourselves up towards him. Go for a look at the inside of the last corner. We're not quite there yet. Going on to the last lap. And can we get this done? We're going to get DRS again. We need to get past Hamilton. And he's trying to place his car right in the middle of the track. He's doing really well defensively here. You expect nothing less of a 7-time world champion. But a brave dive bomb at the inside here would be done. Lewis saw it coming and shut the door dramatically. And unfortunately, we're going to have to try and hang it out again for the rest of the race. Let's go deploy. Let's really try and push everything we have into trying to get past Lewis Hamilton, because that would be a momentous achievement for Haas to get up into 7th with the car having not been really upgraded at all. We've designed the upgrades, we've just not built the upgrades yet. We're going to try and keep making something happen coming out of this hairpin. Have a good push off the line, get ourselves back up behind the gearbox of Lewis. Our tyres are dead, so we're going to be really struggling here, but we just have to make every second count, every inch count. We've got Gasly and Ocon not too far behind us, so we just need to keep pushing ourselves here. Really go for it. DRS is open. Are we going to get close enough to Lewis to look for an overtake at any point through these DRS zones? Going through the chicane. Not going to find it here. It's not really an overtaking zone. Bit pointless having the DRS there, if I'm completely honest. We've got DRS again. Can we do it? Final corner. Looking for it up the inside. Staying tight to the wall. Maybe Hulkenberg's thinking hanging around the outside. He's not. He throws the dummy. Lewis sees it coming. And we're about to cross the line. I don't think we're going to make any more places up. But we have stayed ahead of Pierre Gasly. And frankly, that was as good a last lap as we could hope for, because Gasly will stay tucked in tight behind us. We've crossed the line for 8th place. And we have gone home with 4 points, which is frankly all I can ask for. That does secure 6th place in the championship. Shame Magnussen had that coming together with Albon, because I feel like our strategy would have been good enough to get both drivers in the points this time around. But that's all good.
Kevin Magnussen not going to be happy with how things unfolded today.
They'll be very disappointed to have had their race end early. No driver wants that to happen, but now they just have to look forward.
And no doubt, Verstappen fans will be celebrating the Dutchman's achievement.
And that's win number 1 of the season, and it's sure to provide them with a real confidence boost.
And finally now the drivers can relax after an eventful weekend at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Now Karun, I'd be really keen to know, how do you think the Haas team will be reflecting on today's results?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though.
Okay then, and a big thank you to everyone for joining us this weekend here in Jeddah.
And for the next round, Formula One is heading down under. Exciting times ahead in Australia on the shores of the Albert Park Lake.
So Karun seems to think it was a mixed bag, but I think we've actually done all right. I don't think it was, as I said, disappointing that we didn't have both drivers finish. But the fact that when one driver doesn't finish, the other steps up and gets points is actually a really positive sign for us. We are looking good on everything right now. Constructors-wise, we are 5th place, equal on points with Alpine, who I guess are our main rivals this year, bar maybe McLaren if they step their game up. But obviously we're ahead on countback is what's happened there. But we're doing okay. 2 races in, 5th place. We only need to finish 6th to hit the objectives. In terms of fastest pit stop, I guarantee we were nowhere near it. Not even close. Fastest pit stop was a 2:4:27 for Lando. and our best pit stop was a 2:7:11. So that didn't work out at all, but should have made some gains financially. I think our drivers might not have improved at all yet. I didn't send Pietro Fittipaldi out because he crashed last time I used him. It cost us a lot of money in parts. But we've brought in $2.5 million, which is actually quite tidy as far as these things go. So we will have some money to invest in some new designs. That's going to be really handy. We'll see how we can use that. I'm thinking it's either going to be an underfloor or a real wing. But of course, actually, we have got things to develop. Toby Brown has gone up in performance rating. That's nice. Let's have a little look actually just at the builds, because that's going to be key for us. We're going to have to get some new parts. But Australia in 11 days. Manufacturing wise, is there a way we can add chassis to that? We can. That's good. I thought there would be a way to do that. We don't want to build more than we have to. We'll do 3 of them. I'm aware. Cash remaining. A little bit low. That's okay. Design and research. We're going to start a design project. As I said, it's going to be either a rear wing or a underfloor, depending which is cheapest, and we can't afford to do either. So it's going to be neither of those things. Okay, what can we get the most gains out of? We've done a chassis already. The chassis is the cheapest thing to develop though, so maybe that's the way forward. We will. How long we've got enough time for our next ATR period to get a couple of races worth of money in. So we will play it fairly safe here. I say fairly safe. We'll use about 3.1 of our CFD hours. We'll use about, we'll use about half of our, because I think we're only going to get 3 parts done. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But stranger things have happened. We need to, I think actually we're looking at probably, first of all, let's strip the weight out of that car. That's vitally important. Drag reduction is going to be the key here for us, I think, because engine cooling, I don't know how much engine cooling is going to help us, to be honest. We're rubbish at it, but I don't know how it's going to help us. Let's see what that does. Engine cooling, we can kind of push that up a little bit, but that's not going to help us as much as you'd think. I'm looking to improve that doesn't do anything at all. Right, do that. Right, how does that look in terms of rank on grid? Really good in rank on grid. Okay, that's beautiful. Can we also get a drag reduction boost out of that? I think we can. I know we can. That is quite tasty. That is quite a tasty gain for everything. Okay, we're going to do that. That's going to be our development focus. We're going to push all of our engineers into it for now. That'll be fine. We're not going to rush it. I was going to intensely do it, but that's fine. If we're not going to intensely do it, should we just rush it? Is that smart? Yeah, let's just rush it. Screw it. We're going to get it on the car as fast as we can, just after the Australian Grand Prix. We're not going to worry too much about anything else just now. Can we do any research yet? Is the research period open yet? It's locked until the 17th of April. Good stuff. Okay, right, let's have a look at how things went. We're going to do some car building, because obviously we've lost a chassis on Kevin Magnussen's car, and I assume we've got a spare in the garage somewhere. We don't, because we're still building them. He can have the new one for the next race. His sacrifice will be rewarded. We'll swap out the front wing while I remember, because that will be important, because otherwise the car doesn't go very fast. And we'll have a look at the inbox just to see how things look from here. Car part inspection results, they've passed-ish. Saudi Arabia, what happened in F2? Jahan Daruvalla, Frederick Vesti and Ollie Behrman have done well in F2. We're in debt, apparently, always. Actually, talking of drivers, before we wrap up this episode, because I did hit the hour mark, I'm very sorry, guys. I want to do some scouting with some drivers, and when I say some scouting with some drivers, I'm actually looking at the F2 drivers, because, as I've said a few times, I want to get the American drivers in the American team. So we're going to look at Brad Benavides, See what his upside looks like. Hopefully pretty good. And I don't think there's anyone else aside from Juan Manuel Correa who classify as Americans, so we'll do that. Have a look at both of them. They're fairly even as drivers go. They're both as good as, or nearly as good as, Fittipaldi. They certainly will be by the end of the season. Zane Maloney feels like he should be American and he's not. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out. I know there is another American in F3 that we will have a look at when we get there, I believe. The other American, is Luke Browning American or British? He looks British, is British. There's definitely one down here. I just feel like Alejandro Garcia can be either American or Mexican. This time he's Mexican. Hunter Yaney, I know, is American. I don't know what his upside is like. We'll have a look at him next. And I wish there was just like a flag on here to make this kind of thing easier. Kalen Frederick sounds American. He is American. You can always tell an American name. If there's any Americans watching, you know it's true. Don't at me. I feel like Paul Aaron should be American too. He's Estonian. Of course he is. Why would he not be Estonian with a name like Paul Aaron? Okay, good. I guess technically Sebastian Montoya is probably American too. He's probably lived in America most of his life. Tommy Smith is an Aussie. So we've got a couple more American drivers to check out. Taylor Barnard feels like an American name. He's British. Oh dear. Oh well. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap the episode up there, because otherwise I'm just going to be ragging on people's names, and that seems unkind. So, in the meantime, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you all very soon. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you again very soon for our trip to the Australian Grand Prix. Until next time, stay safe. Have a good one.